Okay, Beshem Hashem Nasem Nastiach. We're having another shiur in offices. Baruch Hashem Torah to go in Vernon. Thank you so much for hosting this shiur. Bez Hashem, we're going to learn a very practical lesson from parashat Viyachi. This lesson is from Harav Eliezer ben David, alav shalom. Harav Eliezer ben David, Zecher Tzaddik Bracha, he explains that in the section of the blessings of Yaakov Avinu, our forefather Jacob, to Yosef Hasadik's sons Menashe and Ephraim, we learn a profound lesson. Usually, the way of the Olam, the natural way is that you always respect the person who is more mechubad, the person who is more respectful. It could be a person is more respectful because he's, older. He might have more, knowledge. A person might have more, money. He gets respect. That's usually the way of the Olam. So based on that, Yosef HaSadik brought Menashe and Ephraim, his two sons, to Yaakov Avinu to get the beracha, the blessing, right, that is going to be life-changing. The blessing right before, one's death is known to be very powerful because the person is going to give his advice, he's going to give with all his koach, with all his being. So Yosef HaSadik has his two sons, he sets them up in front of Yaakov Avinu, who was 147 years old. And so naturally you put the son who is older to get the best blessing that would be corresponding to the right hand. So the older son is Menashe and the youngest son is Ephraim. And all of a sudden, the Torah teaches us that Yaakov Avinu switched his hands. He couldn't see very well, and he switched his hands like this. He put his right hand on the younger grandson, and the wicked hand, the left hand, right, on the older son, Menashe. So Yosef HaSadik tells his father is wrong. This is not the way to do it, right? Maybe you can see well, right? And he tries to change his hands. The Torah teaches us, right, that Yaakov Avinu told him, no, I know my son, right? So the pasuk says, "Vayishtach Yisrael et yemino, vayoshet ad rosh Ephraim," right hand on Ephraim, and the left hand on Menashe, right? And then vayivarech et Yosef, vayomer ha'elokim asher yadni avutai lefanai Abraham, Yitzchak, veYaakov, aroeh oti meodi ad hayom. So Yaakov Avinu said, the same Hashem that blessed me should bless you and your sons, right, till now. And then the famous blessing that we're supposed to give to our sons. And we learn it from here. Hamalach hagoed oti mikor ra. Yevarech et hanearim vayegare bahem shemi. B'shem avotai, Abraham, Yitzchak, veYaakov, ve'yidur larov, v'gere vares. So the obvious question is, right, the better blessing is supposed to go for the older son, right? That should be the right hand on the older son's head and the left hand on the youngest son. Why Yaakov Avinu switched his hands? So based on this, Harav ben David alav shalom explains, right? Yaakov Avinu wants to teach us a big lesson. What you usually try to focus is the weak son that needs more blessing, right? You want to give the blessing to someone, right, that is maybe the Bechor, who is the bigger one, because he is the Bechor. But in Yaakov Avinu's eyes, right, Bechor, the firstborn, wasn't that important to get that bracha. Why? Because Ephraim, right, who knew more Torah, to his eyes he was more blessed. He was more needy of this blessing who can help him in his life, right? So many times in life, the practical lesson for us is many times in life, we focus, right? We see the negative, right? We see, oh, so and so, right, is an angry person. So and so is stingy. So and so, I cannot stand him. And all of a sudden, that negative aspect of his life comes in your eyes. Yaakov Avinu teaches us, don't be like that, right? See the good, see the Ephraim. Give the blessing to the son who is better, not in age-wise, not because he's the firstborn. No, identify other good things and give the blessings, right? There's a famous story, it's brought in Gemara, that one time, one of our sages, Rabbi Akiva, who was very, great in his Torah and Mitzvot, almost all the Torah that we have is because of him. Because he came and he brought the Torah, he had 24,000 famous students, and then, right, Rabbi Akiva one time was traveling. He was going to a little town, and so he went to stay with somebody's home. He was a stranger, knocked on the door. Nobody opened the door for him. He went to the inn, they didn't accept him. So he said, Gam Zt'l Tova, this is also for good. He went, he stepped in the forest, right? Cold, dangerous, wild animals. Middle of the night, he had a candle, right, lit. A wind came, blew the candle, no more light, pitch dark, right? A little bit after that, a cat came, and he had candle, he had a rooster and a donkey. A cat came and ate the rooster, right? A lion came and ate the donkey. Each time he said, Gam Zt'l Tova. In the morning, he woke up. I don't know how if he had any sleep, but it became morning, and he realized the town that he passed by and nobody allowed him was on fire, burned to dust. Like what is happening to LA, may Hashem save us. Burned to dust. And he says, Gam Zt'l Tova, now I understand why nobody allowed me there. Hashem wanted to save me, right? He found out that the gangs came, stole the whole town, and put the whole town in fire. Many times we don't know what is good, what is bad. We see the negative, right? Yaakov Avinu wants to teach us, don't focus in the negative only. See your good son. Start the blessing with your good son who has Torah, who has mitzvot, and Hashem will help the other as well, right? This is a very big lesson in chinuch, in raising children, right? How many times we come and we make a difference between this child with the other child, right? Right? See the positive of them and take it from there. And Harav ben David says, sometimes you should not see the negative. Sometimes you should not say the negative, and that if you don't see the negative, it's sometimes even better. And he gives an example, right? In the family laws of Taharat HaMishpacha, the halachot of husband and wife, when they are together and they have the mitzvah to be together, to have children, or even if they don't want to have children, the law is that the room needs to be pitch dark. Maybe a little bit of light, maybe a little bit, but no direct light. So our rabbis teach us, why is that, right? After all, Hashem created the woman and there's beauty, right? Why can't you see? Our rabbis teach us unbelievable lesson. Because you might come to see something in your wife and that will turn you off. That will make you not to love her anymore, right? You might come and you see a pimple or something, maybe above the shoulder, whatever. And she will not be as important to your eyes anymore. Maybe you come to compare. Maybe you don't come to love her anymore, even a little bit. And we don't want that to happen. We want to protect you. In Shalom Bayit, how many times we shouldn't see or hear that which our wives say? They're tired, hormones go up and down, right? They say something, doesn't come with intellect, it comes with emotions. Aha, pretend it as if you didn't hear it. Anyways, we don't hear a lot of things, right? Anyways, we need reminders for many things, right? Your wife tells you, did you do this? No, I forgot. Why not this? Because the tendency of a person is to see the negative. Don't see the negative. And then it will go, right? And Harav Ben David Alav Shalom, he had a lot of experience. He said, don't ever open your wife's bag. What is it called? The little bags they have? Purse. Don't open it, because you might come to see this makeup, that makeup, whatever. You see things, you might say, oh, this is disgusting. Don't open it. Don't hear everything that your kids say. Obviously, if you're supposed to give tochacha, you're supposed to give them rebuke. In the right time, give the rebuke. Right? Give it on Shabbat. Give it on the table. Say in a story way. Right? So this is a very profound lesson. And I end with this story. This is an unbelievable story. I heard it from the Rav of Beta Knesset, Adat Torah. Adat Torah, what's the name? I forgot the name. Adat Torah is, the Rav is, Rabbi, I forgot the name right now. Okay, it's true story. In Yeshivat Chevron in Eretz Israel, one Shabbat night, right, there was this Bachur, this student, was learning Torah, and was having tochmeh, sunflower seeds, right? Those who are Persian, they know what it is. It's fun. You have the seeds, and he was putting all this garbage of the sunflower seeds, right, in the Beit Midrash, in the actual place of Limud Torah, is very very kodesh, is very kodesh and holy, and he was putting it under the table to clean it afterwards. All of a sudden, unexpectedly, right, the mashkiach, the rabbi who oversees the whole Beit Midrash and the school system, everything, walked in, and he said, "Oh my gosh, if he will see me, that I made this mess here, I will discontinue coming to this Beit Midrash, to this yeshiva. I will go and learn somewhere else." Right. So lo and behold, right, he was lucky. Mashkiach apparently didn't see him. Okay? Tomorrow morning, Shacharit time, Shabbat, he said, "Oh my gosh, maybe the rabbi saw me, but didn't want to tell me anything there. So maybe he's going to tell me, he's going to give me rebuke after Shabbat prayers, right? After Shacharit. And prayers end, right? And he's not getting any rebuke, nothing. So fast forward, it becomes his chatuna. And who is the Mesadech Kedushin? Who is saying the blessings of marriage? Sheva Berachot. He's Rosh Hashanah, he's Mashkiach. The same rabbi. After the chuppah is over, the ceremony of the Sheva Berachot, right? Under the marriage, the wedding canopy is done, right? Then the Mashkiach comes to him and he gives him a profound mazal tov and tells him, "Remember those sunflowers?" And the Chatan says, that same person says, "What? Mashkiach, my dear rabbi, you saw me?" Mashkiach said, "Yes, I saw you. And you know what? That night I didn't sleep till I finished the whole Tehillim. I finished the whole Psalms of David. I prayed to Hashem that tomorrow morning I should be able to control myself, not to burst out at you, not to tell you, why did you do this? I prayed, I controlled myself. I controlled myself because I knew that wasn't the right time." Right? And that contributed to this student's success, because maybe he would have been rebuked he would have left the yeshiva. And you know what? What could happen? Maybe he would have gone to work. Maybe he would have go off derech and not be that connected to Hashem and Mitzvot. So the lesson for me is, right, I try to not see the negative, and Be'ezrat Hashem, this should be a lesson for all of us. Baruch Adonai Le'olam, Amen v'Amen.